From year dot, really. Hands-on, I wanted to make things. My mum was a botanical artist and my dad was a glorified carpenter, if you like. So I took the best of the both, which inspired me to do what I'm doing today. I get to do it from meeting the client, drawing the proposals, then making it from scratch. What I get from delivering or fitting the furniture is the satisfaction of seeing the customer just overwhelmed by what they received. It's practical art, you know, the more you look at it, the more you'll see, to the finest detail. It's deeper than just a business, honestly. It's a sense of well-being. If I didn't do this, what would I do? In Broadway, sort of pre-wartime, they set up a factory, and within that factory they had a special shop, and there must have been, I don't know, 10 to 20 guys that were doing one-off commissions. When I come to do my apprenticeship, I actually worked with the people from the private commission shop. So, I mean, I was working with the best of the best. It was the highest quality in the area. You say Cotswolds, cabinet making, worldwide, people know what it's about. I've honed my craft, which then gives me the opportunity to design, and that's what I stepped into. That's what I wanted to do is design, because I believe you can be a good designer, but you need to understand the material you're using, the construction, how the timber moves. You know, you don't want a crack to appear a year down the line, so you're going to design the construction of it as well as the aesthetic looks of it. The timber I use, I source it, it's grade A, it's been kiln dried to an equilibrium temperature. So therefore, I can make it in my workshop. When I go and deliver it to the client and they've got their radiators on, it's not going to split all over the place because it's already been dried out slowly over time, it's been seasoned. I think dovetails are my signature joint. It's kind of iconic to my name, I suppose. I like to accentuate that joint. I like to, although it's there for a constructional reason, I like to put it for, as well as constructional, aesthetically pleasing. It's something interesting to look at, and obviously by looking at it straight away, that's machine, that's handmade. Straight away you can tell by looking at hand-cut joint. If you're doing by hand and you're only using your saw, you can make the pins go to the narrowest point, which is the width for your saw blade. So then you're working with your tools. You know, if your saw blade is that thin, that's the thinnest I can make that dovetail. So I'll always try to go the thinnest I can. Each job for me is a challenge. You know, let's make it hard, let's make it intricate. You know, I like to do things new and personal for each client. So they have got the one in the world. There's no replicas. When you receive a commission from me, the piece of furniture will have my little brass token set in. That determines that it come from this studio. Throughout the process, obviously I start off with renderings. We get those finalised before manufacturing takes place. And obviously under manufacturing, the customer is invited, is welcome to come to the unit, to come to the studio and see their piece being made. It also gives them a chance to change things along the way. If there's something they're not quite happy about, if they don't understand how something works, I'll show them. I'll show them firsthand, you know, this is how it's done, this is why I'm doing it like this. And it just gives them, it's a one-on-one relationship really. They feel part of this special piece they've invested in, which they're going to keep for a lifetime. It's about making people speechless. You know, if you want something and I show you a drawing and you're overwhelmed by the drawing, I'm thinking that's nothing yet. You haven't seen the real piece. And when I deliver that to your house and it's sat in its perfect surroundings that it was intentionally designed for, then, you know, when I walk out of that house and shut the front door and leave you to look at your bespoke piece of HB furniture, my job's done, and that's there for good.